Hey guys, it's Ron Bass with another edition of the Ron Bass Show. It's your source for inspiration, motivation, encouragement,
Yeah,
dry humor.
sometimes.
Mr. Brent Atterbury, executive producer, marketing guru.
Top of the day to you.
Top of the day, sir. Well, there's all kinds of stuff going on this week.
All kinds?
All kinds of stuff.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm excited.
I'm excited. I was born excited.
You are.
Goodness gracious. Okay, well, we're going to talk about, here's some money. Forgot about that.
Oh, that's
Yay. So this week I was reading so many different interesting stories, but I want to start off talking about IQs. IQ, not DQ, Dairy Queen. IQ, which stands for something quotient, intelligence quotient. I think it's called quotient. Well, I was reading this article about this lady. She's got like 220 IQ. Wow. Because the genius IQ is 140. 140. Yeah. People
220.
like Einstein was like 160. It's way up there. The average IQ, I think, in the United States is like 98. Just saying. One of my students has got an IQ of 143. And I can tell, man, he's really smart. Common sense wise, not so much, but man, this guy's like really smart. And I said, well, you know, my IQ I think is about 118, 120. He says, yeah, you said, Ron, you're pretty smart. And I thought to myself, he had to stretch that pretty smart. I'm thinking, oh man. Any rate, so IQ guys, I guess you're probably born with it, right? But another example of some things are just God-given. Like I was watching this lady on TikTok. She's a lady, young girl, 8 years old. She's singing and playing and her piano, and I mean, like an adult would. And I'm thinking, you just can't get this kind of stuff accidentally. I mean, yes, you have to work and train and you know, stay after it. But I think that some people, guys, I say all that to say this. I think that some people have an advantage to start with in life when it comes to pursuing whatever your goals are. And good for those guys, because that's not most people. But it's cool when you find people that have that kind of ability, like Prince, the artist. Man, that guy could play every instrument. He could sing, he could dance, he could write, he could sing. It was just crazy. And he had a beautiful voice. He had all kinds of, he could go high, he could go low. He was entertaining, he was exciting, very good with his people. That's got to be a God-given talent. But not everybody, in fact, you know, very few people have that, right? So I say that to say this, you have to work really, really hard. You're not always going to have that advantage.
Well, I think some of it is God-given talent, but I also believe someone like Prince worked his butt off.
He did work his butt off.
He put more time in than what probably he was told to put in. The people that consume as much knowledge as they can about the craft or sport or whatever they're trying to, or music, whatever they're trying to do, those are the ones that are on top of their game.
So back to center. The idea is that, guys, look, it doesn't matter if it's easy or hard. If you have a goal, you just have to pursue the goal. You can never give up on the goal, and don't like get rid of the goal if you can't make it right away. Just keep renewing the goal. I talk all the time about the goal card. I have a card in my pocket right now that I date everything for 1 year. I have a financial goal, a personal goal, a fitness goal, and I date it for 1 year. If I don't reach the goal at the end of that year, I just simply scratch out the date. I put it for another year. And that keeps me motivated to stay on that track and not give up. The problem is most people do give up. I was reading an article about a guy that was in the California gold rush. This was like back in the 1800s when everybody was going from the East Coast to the West Coast because gold, they found gold. And the gold, called the gold rush. At any rate, this guy went out there and he spent all this, what money that he had. He bought all, they had picks. They'd go into these caves and chop away at the rock to find the gold, right? And he spent all this money and time and energy, and finally he just was exhausted. He gave up. Well, the story goes, this is a true story. The story goes that somebody else, like I think, bought his claim or whatever it was. I guess they had claims for 10 cents on the dollar maybe, and picked up where he, not to use a pun, picked up where he left off. That's funny. I have to laugh at my own humor. It's so dry. It's so dry. One of my students last night said, "Man, your humor is really dry." I know. And guess what? A couple feet later, guess what they found? A huge find, which was worth like gazillions of dollars. So the moral of the story is, don't give up. You're usually really close to making that find, creating that success you've been working for so hard and so long is right there. And there's a lot of stories like that, guys. It just exemplifies the idea that you cannot give up on the goal. I'm in class last night, our martial arts school, and I'm watching my coach teach some techniques. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, all these things that he's teaching, basically I've seen before in my career before I met this coach, like way back in the beginning of my martial arts career. And it's like I'm seeing him do all these things and I'm thinking, wow, like to be able to recognize these techniques and to be able to execute them, when in the beginning, my first few years, I couldn't have even dreamed that I could do this stuff. I was never that guy, I was like a nerd guy. I was never an athlete. I was never a guy that could fight. I was crazy. So I say that to say this. It's a personal example to myself, to remind myself, hey man, just stay the course. It's not that complicated. I don't care if you're the worst at anything. If you don't give up and you work at it, sooner or later, it may take years, doesn't matter, you're going to get further down the line, a lot further down the line, and you're going to keep making progress if you just don't give up. Okay. I know that sounds a little repetitious, guys, but I like to talk about these things every time we meet because it's worth repeating. Yes, sir.
I was watching The Voice last night, and there was a guy that had tried out for The Voice 7 times.
7 times?
7 times. He kept coming back. 7 times over the years.
Over the years.
So this wasn't like 7 times in 1 year.
Wow.
And he finally got selected to appear in front of the judges.
Wow.
And he was picked by a judge last night.
Wow.
That goes to show you, that guy, he did not give
up.
Yeah.
I think to myself, maybe what Brent's saying is there's even more truth to it to maybe what we think. It's almost like the people that win in life are really just the people that don't give up. It's like anything is possible if you just stay the course. Now, if you want to be a rocket scientist and you've got an IQ of 80, that may not happen. But aside from those extreme examples, I would guess just about anybody could probably set a goal, work your butt off over the course of time with some good mentorship, and probably reach the goal or at least get pretty close. And hell, even getting close is a huge accomplishment, in my opinion. My friend that's at I was talking about my friend at the gym that's going to the High Rocks competition this weekend in Boston, Massachusetts. That's like it's an event where you go and you run like a mile, then you do weightlifting, and then you run another mile. It's like 8 stations. And
wow.
It takes, they say the elite can do this in like 45 minutes, but people that are pretty fit, an hour and a half, and people that are not very good shape, 3 hours. So, it's a big deal for people that want to exceed in competition and excel in competition and that are competitive. And she's worked her butt off for like 3 months at the gym. Yesterday I saw her. She flew out this morning. I told her yesterday, I said, hey man, enjoy yourself. It's not like if you look at it all as hard work, guys, it's going to get more difficult. Just enjoy the ride. Pat yourself on the back that you've worked so hard for 3 months. Hell, if nothing else, you're in the best shape of your life, I told her. Forget about the competition if you don't even make it out there for some reason, or you get sick before it starts, whatever. I said, you've already won the prize. Because now you're 50 years old, you're a successful, she's a nurse, very successful professional, and now you're in the best physical shape of your life. It's wonderful. So I say that to say this, guys, go to the gym. My friend came in today he was 390 pounds when I met him 4 years ago. Now he's down to about 320, 330. He's already lost 60, maybe 70 pounds. Diabetes, he's had many strokes, all kinds of problems. But this guy is working so hard with his exercise, with the way he's eating now, with his rest. He's determined more than I've ever seen him to resolve this issue and get his weight down so he can have a better life and enjoy his life, right? It's hard to enjoy your life when you're sick every day, when you don't feel good, when you're sluggish, right? And I said to him today, I said, man, you got to work on your mental and physical health. They go hand in glove, but they're both equally important. I see you getting ready to say something or ask something maybe?
No.
No? Looks like you were chomping at the bit.
No. I think it's the low IQ in this room, maybe. I don't know.
Is that what it is? You're funny. Well, gee whiz, maybe I've talked enough. Do we have any breaking news, sir?
Well, we do.
Ooh, I like breaking news.
Funny you ask.
How about that?
So, the Guinness Book of World Records has all different kinds of records you can try and attempt and beat. This one was a little odd. I had never seen anything like this before. An Australian daredevil, a stuntman, lit his body on fire.
What?
And pulled a car a distance of 328 feet in 56.42 seconds to win a Guinness World Record title.
Now that's a bizarre
I can't
record.
believe they would even allow this in there, because what if people want to try it?
Yeah, that's true.
And they fail.
That's bad.
Well, that's something you don't want to never give up on. You don't want to keep trying.
No.
Because there's a big chance you're going to get burnt. This guy's
That's
a professional.
crazy.
They had guys with fire extinguishers, putting him out at the
That's
end.
bizarre.
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
But I just
That's
thought that
his
was
trip.
interesting.
That's his trip.
That is.
That's his goal.
Getting caught on fire. Don't try this at home, folks.
No, don't try this at home. That's crazy.
And then you'll like this. Today is National Women's Health and Fitness Day.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I knew you'd like that.
Yes.
Yep. And, it's National Punctuation Day! Exclamation mark.
Exclamation.
Yes.
I think you said exclamation.
Well, you didn't hear the L.
For writing you.
No. National Punctuation Day! Exclamation mark.
Exclamation
Yeah,
mark.
cla.
I'm messing with you.
I don't know why. How would you celebrate that? National Punctuation Day. How would you celebrate that?
I don't know how you'd celebrate that.
Yeah, I don't know why they celebrate it.
Well, there's a
Are they
celebration
glad?
for everything.
Are they glad there's punctuation? Is
I
that?
guess that must be it. There's
Okay.
some kind of passion there.
And for the people that like food, it's National Cherries Jubilee Day.
Ooh, Cherries Jubilee.
Yeah.
Dang. Speaking of food, I started eating ice cream again.
Good, Ron. I'm glad. I'm glad you're doing that.
I know. It's the sugar rush, I guess.
Ice cream makes everything better.
They say sugar may be worse than even drugs.
Yeah.
Like it is a drug, I suspect.
Yeah.
But like worse than maybe even doing meth, I don't think so. Although you could screw up your body pretty quick if you overeat, overindulge in sugar, obviously. But it does give you some energy, at least temporarily. And sometimes, I have like a Coke when I finish working out. When I come back to the office, gives me a little lift for an hour or so. I'm usually pretty exhausted when I get back from the gym, and I'm still running my company, so it's like I need a little bit of a lift to kind of get me through it. So I'll drink a mug root beer.
Yum.
Yeah, I went to the store yesterday to get a mug root beer, and they didn't have any. And I walked up to the clerk, and he looked at me and goes, "Yeah, I'm sorry, man, we're out of mug root." He knew it was me, that I was coming in to get the mug root beer.
You're the mug man.
I guess. That's weird that people would pay attention to things like that.
Yeah.
Interesting, huh?
It is.
And a guy walked up to me at the convenience store. He says, "Hey, man, how you doing?" I said, "Okay." He said, "Good to see you again." I said, "Good to see you again." I have no idea who it was. Now, that's weird. That may be a sign of dementia or a sign of old age. or I don't know what that means, but it's not good. I didn't want to be rude.
Well,
And he told me a story about something we'd done in the past. I didn't remember him at all. Maybe because he grew a beard and his hair was long. I don't know.
yeah.
I felt bad.
He remembers you, so you obviously had some kind of influence on him.
Yeah, and he was smiling, so maybe it was a positive influence.
That's a good thing.
I don't know. You run into people sometimes, they give you this eagle eye, and you think, what have I done to that person? How many years ago? That's another weird thing about getting old. You don't know how many paths you've crossed and who you've influenced, either in a good or a bad way, and could come back to haunt you sometimes. I think about that sometimes.
But it's all the more reason to be kind and do and help others.
Yes.
Because you never know who you're going to
Run into.
touch or run into.
It is an
and affect
interesting
their life.
point. It is an interesting point. And he's right, guys. You have to. I've been keeping like dollar bills in my pocket lately because when I see these homeless people, I don't want to be the guy that just doesn't look at them anymore. I want to be the guy that if I get a feeling maybe that they're sincere, I want to give them $1. It's like, it's not going to hurt me and it might help that person. And not all these homeless people are beggars they're not all bad people. Some of them are just down on their luck. Some of them are just mentally ill. They're not all like, con artists. So I'm not saying you give it to every one of them. Keep some change in your pocket. The guy says, hey, you got any spare change? What's 50 cents going to do to you? Nothing. It might be the guy that puts that into, some food and gives him a little bit of a lift, and maybe he goes on to get a job and move forward. And you just don't know who you're going to influence.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worth taking that risk. Remember, to help one person is as if to help the whole world, guys. Not everybody's going to believe that. Not everybody's going to buy into that. But I think that's very important to at least try to live that way. Sure, you're going to have some bad days and bad moments, and you're going to have some financial problems. I can't even help myself. How can I help that guy? I get it. But work on it. At least make the effort, right? Try to have better days than bad days. You're going to have challenges every day, man. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the richest guy in the world or you're the beggar on the street. Ups and downs is part of living. I told my friend today, I said, I didn't ask to be here. He said, what do you mean? I said, no, I didn't ask to be born. I was given life. And now that I have the life, I have to accept it and deal with it and take care of myself. We've only got the one life. So we're going to have ups and downs every day, guys. The key is just to manage the downs, enjoy the ups, keep goal setting, stay fit, be good to each other, and move forward in your life. Any closing thoughts, sir?
No, period.
Is that punctuation?
Yes.
That's funny. Speaking of grammar, I like to tease people. Not that I'm the best at grammar, but one of my students last night, she's a substitute teacher, and she was saying something like, I seen that person over there and I said, no, you saw that person. I said, did you not get a college degree? She says, no, I don't have to have one to be a substitute teacher. And I thought, wow, that's crazy.
They're really struggling.
Wow, they're taking anybody. I don't say that. But
No, but they do take. You don't have to have a college
that's
degree.
crazy.
Yeah.
At any rate, when I was coming up, boy, that wasn't the case at all. It's all changed, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. At any rate, I was teasing her.
To be a teacher, yes, but not substitute.
Yeah. Well, guys, we'll get out of here. We bored you enough, probably. Just remember, if you don't give up, which you never should even consider that, eventually those stars, they're going to line up, and you're going to be a lot happier because you didn't give up. Stay the course. Keep your chin up. Keep your head up. Stay focused, and always stay positive.